The mouth opens first. That's the part your brain trips over. Not because it's violent, not because it snaps, but because it opens in a way that feels wrong. Too wide, too loose, like a hinge that was never supposed to exist. For a split second, you don't register it as an animal at all. It looks like a tear in the water, a hole where something used to be. Then the rest of it drifts into view, slow, unhurried, unimpressed by your presence. And that's when you realize you're looking at something that has never needed speed or strength or elegance to survive. Only patience. If this kind of thing pulls you in, the quiet monsters, the deep ocean, the animals that feel like secrets, go ahead and subscribe now. Not at the end, now. Because once you understand what lives down here, it's hard to look away. This is the Gulper Eel, sometimes called the Pelican Eel, which feels like a joke nature told and then refused to explain. It lives far below the surface, far below reefs, far below anything that feels alive in the way we're used to. Thousands of feet down, in the open ocean, where there is no bottom beneath you and no light above you. Just water. Cold, heavy, endless. Down here, food doesn't come on a schedule. It doesn't come daily. Sometimes it doesn't come at all. Weeks can pass, months. In that kind of world, missing a meal isn't inconvenient. It's fatal. So the Gulper Eel adapted to one simple rule. When food appears, take all of it. Its body is long and thin, almost flimsy. Soft muscles, soft bones. It looks underbuilt, like it skipped leg day for a few million years. If you saw one out of context, you might think it was sick or unfinished. But the head stops that thought immediately. The mouth is enormous, not big for its size, just enormous. The lower jaw hangs down like it forgot it was part of the face. The skin stretches, elastic and dark, forming a bag more than a mouth. When it opens fully, it can swallow prey nearly as large as itself, sometimes larger, sometimes things it absolutely should not be swallowing. This eel does not believe in portion control. The teeth are small and almost delicate because chewing is not part of the plan. Chewing takes time. Time burns energy. Energy is rare. Instead, the Gulper Eel opens its mouth, creates a vacuum, and gulps water, prey, and bad luck all at once. Whatever is there is what it eats, and the stomach stretches too. It inflates like a balloon, pushing against the limits of what looks physically possible. Scientists believe some Gulper eels actually die this way, by overeating. Their bodies simply can't process a meal that ambitious. Imagine surviving crushing pressure, freezing temperatures, total darkness, only to be defeated by your own optimism. That's the deep sea for you. The Gulper Eel isn't fast. It doesn't chase. It doesn't lunge. Speed costs energy, and energy is something this animal cannot waste. So instead, it floats, drifts, barely moves at all. It looks less like a predator and more like debris, something you'd ignore, something you'd swim past without noticing. And then there's the tail. At the very end of its long, tapering body is a small bioluminescent organ, a faint glow, usually reddish or pinkish. Not bright, not dramatic, just enough to be seen by the right eyes at the right distance. Red light doesn't travel far in the deep ocean. Most creatures can't even see it, which makes it perfect. The eel waves it slowly, casually, like it's bored. Something curious approaches. A small fish, a crustacean, something already hungry enough to take risks. The light promises nothing specific, just presence, just maybe food. Then the mouth opens. No warning, no chase. Just absence where something used to be. What makes this harder to process is the size of the animal itself. The Gulper eel is usually around a meter long, about the length of a baseball bat. That's it. All that mouth, all that darkness, all that hunger packed into something you could theoretically hold. The proportions are wrong. Your brain keeps trying to resize it, to make it bigger so it makes sense. But it doesn't. It stays small, and that somehow makes it worse. Its eyes are tiny. Vision down here is unreliable anyway. Light is scarce, distorted, unreliable. The skin is smooth and scaleless, jet black, absorbing whatever little light exists. Everything about this eel is designed to disappear until it's too late, and we barely see them. Gulper eels live in the mid-water zone, far from the sea floor and far from the surface. That makes them incredibly difficult to study. Most of what we know comes from brief encounters with deep-sea submersibles or from individuals that didn't survive being brought up. Their bodies are built for pressure. Remove that pressure and they fall apart, which feels fitting. These animals evolved under the assumption that no one would ever be watching. Their early life stages are even stranger. As larvae, they look nothing like the adults. Transparent, ghost-like, fragile. At some point, their entire body plan changes. The mouth expands, the proportions break. The thing you recognize as a Gulper eel finally emerges. Even their reproduction is bleak. In some deep-sea eel species, males stop feeding once they reach maturity. Their bodies shrink, their organs repurpose. Everything becomes about reproduction. Eat less, mate once, die. No ceremony, no second chances. And yet, there's something quietly honest about the Gulper eel. It isn't aggressive, it isn't cruel, it isn't hunting for sport. It's responding to a world that gives it almost nothing. No sunlight, no plants, no abundance, just long stretches of emptiness. So when something finally appears, you don't hesitate. That's what the deep ocean does to life. It strips away comfort, strips away excess. What's left is function, patience, survival. And here's the part that always sits heavy with me. The deep sea is the largest habitat on Earth, and creatures like the Gulper eel aren't exceptions. They're the norm. We've explored more of the moon than we have of our own ocean depths, which means animals like this, animals that feel unreal, are just the ones we've happened to glimpse. Somewhere below us right now, something stranger is floating in the dark, something we haven't named yet, something with rules we don't understand. And one day, a camera will drift past it. A light will flicker on, and for a moment, just a moment, it will be seen. Then it will disappear again. Next time, we're going deeper, to a creature that doesn't just survive the darkness, it glows inside it. And once you see that light, you'll understand why the deep sea never really lets you go.